What's going on, guys? MultiKillsHD here, as most of you guys probably already know. So guys, in this video today, I want to give you my honest opinion with kind of a vlog kind of twist to it. Without the video, I kind of want to give it that kind of a feeling, but I want to go ahead and express my feelings, or should I say, despise Infinity Ward right now. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Now, Infinity Ward had some pretty big shoes to fill this year, and they were really supposed to really fill in their role as a game developer to make sure Call of Duty Ghost was one of the best Call of Duties of all time. That was their overlying goal, and that's what they were supposed to do, and along the lines of that, they were going to get a lot of sales for having such a great game, and they're ultimately going to make a lot of money. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, they had all those requirements, and Black Ops 2 really knocked it out of the park last year. They made it so that if you played Black Ops 2 and you enjoyed competitive, you were absolutely 100% going to love Treyarch's Black Ops 2. And the feeling of Modern Warfare 3 was okay. You know, it had its moments toward the end. It seemed like the game was getting a lot worse. You had spawn traps going on, you had the connection getting worse. But overall, Modern Warfare 3 was pretty good in my own opinion, alongside with Black Ops 2. So the last two Call of Duties have been really good, and all the ones previous to that have been pretty phenomenal. So Call of Duty Ghosts had some really big footsteps they had to follow in if they wanted to have their reputation as a good game developer continue after being sold out as Respawn Entertainment. And basically, if you guys don't know about this story, Respawn Entertainment was formed after Robert Bowling, who worked at Infinity Ward and Activision, ended up getting fired for absolutely no reason, and that day alone, after he was fired and left, half of the studio and development team and all the researchers, all of the writers, the game designers, everybody stood up and walked out that day. I believe that they lost, like, out of 320 people, they lost like 165 of those guys. They all stood up and walked on their job, and they started, and they eventually created Titanfall, and that's why Titanfall is really good, and that might be why you consider Modern Warfare 2 your favorite Call of Duty, and Titanfall is up there too. It's because of the same creators, basically. So Call of Duty Ghosts came out in November, and this is one of the things that I've been noticing over the last couple of years. During Modern Warfare 3, I was willing to offer $500 to get the game early. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with why YouTubers in general usually want to get the Call of Duty series early, it's because it typically does well on YouTube, and you're able to pay for whatever you had to pay back in revenue by stockpiling videos, getting them all ready for the date that you're able to upload them, and then pretty much just spam them into your sub box, get a lot of views, pay off all the work, and you get a little bit of profit on top of it typically whenever your YouTube channel gets to that size. And that kind of seemed to be the general thing going around for Call of Duty for the last couple of years. Black Ops 2, I remember people were charging around $250 or so, and it seemed to be going up to $300 the day before. So that was also a pretty high expectation game, and it also had a lot of hype for the game. Call of Duty Ghost, the copies of the game were going for about $200, and it's kind of odd, right? You go from Modern Warfare 3, we were willing to pay $500 to $1,000 a copy. You go to Black Ops 2, the game's down to $200 to $500 range at max, and now Call of Duty Ghosts, we're at $200 max for a couple weeks early for the game. After this Call of Duty, I've decided that the next Call of Duty, I'll be surprised if I even buy it, let alone if I'm willing to pay extra to get it even earlier. And I honestly feel it is because of a couple of these reasons. Black Ops 2 was mostly revolved around competitive gaming. Now, me being personally a competitive gamer, or being a more serious type of gamer, such as somebody who actually cares about their win-loss ratio, their kill-death ratio, and their stats on Call of Duty, I take it a little more serious than other people, so it was kind of a great feel to have League Play, and I personally believe League Play might be the greatest thing that's happened to Call of Duty in the last couple of recent years, really. After that, Call of Duty Ghosts seems to have no reason or no guidelines or even a focus on when they created the game. It seems like Call of Duty Ghosts was created around nobody. They kind of saw that competitive was doing well, so we'll go ahead and throw in COD esports roles months after the game is out, or weeks after. I can't remember, I think it was around a month, and then they released the esports roles They weren't supporting private matches, they weren't going to support LAN. You almost instant die on the game, so it has like no focus at all. It doesn't go for the normal average players, everyday players. It doesn't go for the COD competitive team. It doesn't really support the snipers, and it kind of resulted into really plain, boring, decent graphics that really needed a good color correction to even make it even worthwhile to even stare at your Call of Duty screen at that point. Couple weeks go by and Call of Duty Ghosts started out at about 300,000 people online, which is pretty low considering last year there was like 1.6 million people online at once on Black Ops 2. So we go down to that number. It's around January at this point, and Call of Duty Ghosts instantly goes from $59.99, which is the price in the United States, to $39.99. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this, Call of Duty in general has never dropped price for a year or so after the next one comes out. For example, Modern Warfare 2 was about $50 even in months after the next game had already came out. So Modern Warfare 2 has been over for a year and 2 months or so at this point. The game is still $40 to $50. You'll never see it under 40 bucks at GameStop. You'll never see it even used for like 40. So it's very unusual to see Call of Duty go down in any value. Well, this Call of Duty you can buy it brand new on Amazon today for $29.99 for either the Xbox One or the Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, or PlayStation 3. So right there, it kind of gives me a sign that they know that they made a mistake and the game's a little bit of a flop. If they had to go down to 25 bucks just a couple months after the release to even get people to even play on it. Now, it's kind of interesting also to note that the only time Call of Duty Ghost ever seems to have any more than 100,000 players, I'd say, is whenever they run double XP. And the overall trend for Call of Duty Ghost is every other week, double XP, or every weekend, there's some sort of DLC kind of XP in there. For example, if they have a new DLC, a couple weeks later, they'll give in a free week of Extinction Mode XP, or they'll do weapon challenges, XPs, etc., things like that, to make sure that people are on their game, because not a lot of people want to play it in general. However, when they're not doing all these double XPs, and they're not going around mass making sure that everybody plays the game, there's a remotely probably 50-60,000 people on Call of Duty Ghosts, and that kind of scares me as being a YouTube Call of Duty commentator, that only 60,000 people are playing Call of Duty at this given juncture. Now, 60,000 people compared to last year's over 1 million is very, very small, and it's making me lose a lot of hope for the next Call of Duty. For example, I love Call of Duty. I've been playing it for years on years, really. And I used to stay up till like 4 AM on school nights making sure that I played Call of Duty to get better 1v1 on Shipment, 1v1 on Rust. I was really just overall having a really good time. But in the last couple of years, it's just like, okay, it's let's go ahead and see what time it is. It's 8 PM. Yeah, I don't feel like playing Call of Duty anymore. So, 45 minutes are done. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off now. That's pretty much a repeating cycle for me personally on Call of Duty Ghosts. It's like, okay, I've been on here for 3 games. Yeah, I don't want to play anymore of this game. It's like I die every 2 shots. Somebody shoots me and kills me before I even kill them. And it's kind of funny, right? People always say how good of an internet they have. Well, I don't usually ever see anybody with a better internet speeds than I usually have. For example, for those of you that don't know, fiber optic is one of the best internets out there. Google Fiber Optic is 1,000 download and 1,000 upload with about 1 to 2 ping on average. There is nothing usually that is ever going to beat that, so it's very unlikely that somebody has a better internet than you. Me being lucky enough, I'm in Ohio and I have fiber lines installed, not from Google Fiber Optic, from another company, and I'm lucky enough to get insane internet speeds for about the same price as Google Fiber Optic. So I have a very good connection, usually about 500 times better than other people's internet, typically. So, with that being said, me dying from somebody else's connection being greater than mine is kind of insane to think about, that somebody that has 1/10 of my internet is out shooting me before I can even shoot them, when usually on any other game that you'd ever play, internet shouldn't either matter, A, or B, the person with a better internet should always win. In the Call of Duty Ghost system, it's like, okay, we're going to flip a coin. Whatever side it lands on, that's the person that's going to win a gunfight. That's honestly what it feels like whenever I play Call of Duty Ghost anymore. It's like, okay, so, Yep, it landed on heads. MultiKillsHD is dead. Okay, flip another coin. Okay, die again. Okay, flip a coin. Okay, I get the kill for once. That's what it seems like. Call of Duty Ghost stats have been pretty good over the last couple years for me. I've had like a 2.5, 2.8 kill death ratio, roughly. So, Call of Duty Ghost, I'm getting like a 1.16. I'm getting like a 5 to 7 win-loss ratio where I've had 20 plus on other games. It could be remotely due to me not really playing with a team anymore, but still, the fact that I had such a great kill-death ratio, I personally thought I was considered a good Call of Duty player. I hop on Call of Duty Ghost, and me going remotely positive, like 2 KD-wise on the game, is pretty good now. And that's actually pretty much a standard across the board, that nobody has around a 2 to 4 kill-death ratio roughly anymore. It's unheard of usually. If you have like an 8 kill-death ratio like I had on Black Ops 2, that is insane. If you have an 8 kill death ratio on Call of Duty Ghost, it's pretty much impossible. So I think the standards have definitely changed, the requirements have definitely changed, the COD scene is pretty much getting a lot bigger for the competitive side, but the overall feel for Call of Duty has completely just died out, and that has me extremely worried as a YouTuber to see that Call of Duty is heading into the ground. And not only that, but next year we have Sledgehammer Games designing the next Call of Duty, which has me even more concerned about the future of Call of Duty. I think at this given point, Infinity Ward has really messed up the Call of Duty series. Sledgehammer, we can't really judge them until we see what they bring to the table, but that has me really concerned again. I personally think that Treyarch should have just stuck with the Call of Duty games. You know, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, they could have stuck to zombies or something like that, and I think that would be a lot more. You know, they couldn't make as many mistakes as they could with the multiplayer, personally. But anyways, that's just my personal opinion, guys. That is my opinions on Infinity Ward and the Call of Duty Ghost situation. I just wanted to go ahead and vent and rant some of this off. I wanted to make sure that the public knows my opinion on Call of Duty Ghost, because right now, it's honestly not that good. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have your own personal opinion, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'm interested to see what you guys had to say. But until next time, guys, I'm MultiKillsHD, and I'm out. Peace.